The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
We are here with Soto619. I think I said that right. This is my first podcast back since January, so a good 4-month hiatus. Soto, how are we, man?
Oh, we're doing good, Jordan. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me, buddy.
It's all right, man. Always an honor to have new people from different avenues, content creation wise. Do you want to explain to people how we first met and came into contact?
Yeah, we were on a panel together with Wheezy, and then you had to head out. So, we got in contact ever since.
And then we were planning to do the podcast, but then at times it worked out. As you can see, it is 6:15 p.m. in the evening here. It's quite sunny outside, which, it's gone back an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's only 10 o'clock in the morning for me, so it's
Jesus.
still pretty early.
I love what you're doing in the background where it says Soto619.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, they're two different signs. So, yeah, this one was custom. The Soto619 one, I had that one. That one was a gift, so it's pretty cool.
How many championship belts you got?
On the wall hanging up here, just 2. Total, I have 3. I have an ECW original that is signed by RVD and Rey Mysterio, but I don't display that one. That one's just put away.
Sentimental too.
Yeah, that one's really, really nice.
Yeah. Where did the design for the Soto619 came from?
Something simple that I just made online with AI because I didn't know how to really do much. So I just went through different AI designs and found what I liked and came up with this. Kind of worked out. Something simple.
Good man.
Yeah.
Obviously, so you've got like 25,000 or creeping up to there on followers on TikTok. How does one get that many?
Yeah. A lot of it came from partnerships. So
Okay.
just what you're doing right now, a lot of collaborating. And then finding your niche, because obviously we all cover wrestling content, but finding what suits you. I ended up finding that doing Raw previews, SmackDown previews, PLE previews, whatever, just laying it down in a quick fashion and then doing recaps afterwards, because nobody has time to watch a 3-hour show every single week. So if I can bring that to you in less than a minute and a half, people enjoy that. People appreciate it. And that's really what my goal is, to get your preview and your recap in all in all. If you're going to watch both back to back in less than 4 minutes.
Unbelievable. So what is the end goal for you? Like what do you want to see yourself doing for 2025?
For 2025, I thought you meant overall, because I have an overall goal.
Well, we'll do overall as well.
Yeah. For 2025, 25, sitting just about 25. I think I can hit 25K by this WrestleMania weekend. I feel pretty confident about that. I don't know, man. It'd be nice to hit 50,000. It'd be nice that TikTok doesn't go away in the United States. That's gonna be number one. That's number one. But branching out into YouTube, I'm trying to approach that 1,000 mark. So hopefully hit that 1,000 mark on YouTube before the end of the year, and then on Instagram as well, also approaching the 1,000. So just continue growing on all platforms, and continue collaborating, with other creators such as yourself, and meeting new people. That's what I love doing. Overall, real quick. Overall is just to continue creating content and enjoying it, having a fun time, meeting great people, making enough to where I can just go to events and not have to worry about it coming out of the day-to-day job.
True. So is this your full-time thing at the moment?
No, it's not, but it definitely takes up a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that will be good if it was your full-time gig.
Yeah, maybe one day, but test, trial and error, everything. So it's interesting because I just started last January. And when I started, me and technology weren't hand in hand as far as editing and everything. So when I wanted to show stuff, like kind of like videos that I do now, I had a TV behind me, and the TV wasn't even straight. It was at a slant angle. So if you go back to like my original videos, you'll see that TV hanging up there. And I thought about, taking them down, but man, that's where I started. I can't delete where I started. So
Yeah, I respect that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, we've all got to start from somewhere.
yeah,
And TikTok is your little baby creation, we'll call it. When
yeah,
did
for
you
sure.
first know that you like, wow, this is something? Like, what is the video or moment or time that you knew that you was, wow, this is gonna be something?
Um, I think I blew up out of nowhere because I went to Raw day one last year, since it was here in San Diego. And then the surprise, champion that came out was not Jinder Mahal. It ended up being The Rock. And last minute, I'm not even kidding. I was at the door. I knew I was gonna get into the venue. I didn't have a ticket, but I was at the door and I found front row and it was like $200. And I went with the buddy and I was like, hey, I know our budget was 100, but let's double it and just go front row. So we sat front row right behind Samantha Irvin. So I got to
Oh,
talk to
wow.
her for a little while. And when The Rock came out, I was thankfully recording that. So that blew up to like 2 million and that helped me kind of start it off. Um, but before that even happened, I was already talking to the buddy that I went with, like saying we need to start a podcast, like we need to talk about wrestling. And so it was already in the talks. But that was a jump start that I kind of had to be like, all right, I got some momentum. Let's go. Let's keep going. I don't know what I'm doing, but if I continue doing nothing, nothing's gonna happen.
Mhm.
If I put out something and that's even a TV behind me, at least I'm learning and growing, and I'll meet people along the way. And
Things
that's
take time, innit?
what's up. Sorry,
Things take time.
for sure. Things take time, but the whole journey, man, it's been a learning experience, and I know I have so much more to learn. There's so much more that I want to do, but I know it'll happen.
I mean, 25,000 near enough followers on TikTok is an unbelievable achievement to achieve itself.
Yeah, it's not impossible. That's for sure. It takes a lot of work. It can take a lot of hours. Sometimes it can be frustrating doing all the editing. So for any Raw recap, SmackDown recap, it usually takes me about 2 to 3 hours to do a recap, and your recap is a minute and a half. So it can be frustrating sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's right after watching 3 hours of Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, what do you prefer, Raw or SmackDown?
Um, Show wise, I like Raw. I think Raw has been doing pretty good. Storyline wise, I've been enjoying a little bit more of the storylines on SmackDown. Um, Historic wise, Naomi and Jade is the first non-title one-on-one females match that we're getting since WrestleMania 22. So for 19 years, and I've been a big push on this. I've been talking about this for over a year from when I started on TikTok because I thought we were going to get it last year between Jade and Bianca. Obviously, it didn't happen. But now that we're here, 19 years later, getting that 1-versus-1 non-title match between the women, I'm really excited and happy for them.
100%. That will be. To be honest, I think they're going to do Jade versus Bianca next year.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you. If not, then at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Bianca turning on Jade at WrestleMania.
I can agree. We haven't seen much of Bianca and Jade lately, and she ignored her too, while she was gone,
Yeah,
storyline wise.
it's going to be one to see. Do you think we can expect a few returns for WrestleMania or any surprises?
Dude, like I said, I'm gonna be there on Saturday and Sunday. So if I hear some
Oh,
glass
yeah, you are, aren't you?
shattering, some glass shattering, I will lose it. I will lose it. I think Rock is kind of the biggest name that we can all expect to see. I don't think he would miss that
Definitely.
one. Maybe. Well, it does land on this day. It lands on Rusev Day, so maybe we see Rusev, face Randy Orton.
I would love, instead of him coming out as a Rusev, Miro.
You would like to see Miro. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
because I was a big fan of the Redeemer in AEW.
Okay. Would you? Dang, it's always interesting when wrestlers come back with a different name, but when
Because, oh, sorry, I'll give you an example. Sean
no, go
Spears.
ahead. Yeah,
He came back and he's done way better this time round in his little short stint in NXT than he did ever, in my opinion.
I think they could do it. I think if they made him, I think he'd do good as a heel. And if he just went off and said, Rusev is dead, or threw off the whole character,
That'd be
I
really
think
good.
I think they could do it. Yeah, I could agree with you there for sure.
It's like if you think about anyone who's on the independent circuit now, I'll give you an example. Matt Cardona. If he comes back, he's not going to be Zack Ryder.
No, he
He's
would
going to be
definitely play
Matt
into
Cardona.
that. He would definitely play into that. What I just said about Rusev, he would say,
Yeah.
Zack Ryder's dead.
I don't want to see Malachi Black come back as Aleister Black. I want him to be Malachi. I
I
prefer
think
that name.
I can agree with you with all of these. I think it all just comes down to rights. Who
Yeah.
owns the name? If AEW has any sort of rights to those.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, as much as we'd love to see it, it comes out to legalities.
So, what would you agree that this build has been totally different to last year's WrestleMania?
Well, last year we had a couple things, right? We had The Rock helping build up WrestleMania, seeing him on a week-to-week basis more than this year. We had the amazing streak that Roman Reigns had, and then we had to finish the story, right? Because we were going to see Roman and Cody for the second time in a row, kind of like that, once in a lifetime with John Cena and The Rock twice.
That's crazy.
So it's similar to that. I think the build was different. Obviously, this year we have a couple different storylines. Roman's not a champion or going after the champion for the first time in I don't know how many years. And now we have CM Punk with his first ever WrestleMania, main event. And then you have Seth Rollins, who now has a favor from Paul Heyman. So there's a lot of storyline that I'm enjoying between those guys. The John Cena turn, has been interesting.
It's been weird on it. It's
It's
been a
been
weird.
weird because it's so hard to take him serious as a heel. It's it's not easy, man. We've seen this guy as a babyface for the majority, of his career.
If you think about it, back in 2005 and 6, when he was a face, but saying all this stuff and taking the piss out of people, that was good. If he was like that then, but today, you could get it. You could get behind him. It's
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
his character where it's like, I'm not going to give you guys anything because I gave you everything and you still, pissed on me. So, I mean, I can see it, but I just I wish we got some sort of a buzz cut, bald John Cena,
That
new,
won't happen.
Him in a suit or I don't know, something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, WrestleMania this year, because it's the first time that Triple H has been solely in charge. Because last year it was him and The Rock. This year it's just him. So it's been good, but I think it was a slow burn. But then recently it's ramped up really quick.
Do you feel like sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Hold on, give me 1 second. I think it's gonna come back to me. WrestleMania. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, I feel like I'll give you an example: the Jey Uso Gunther storyline. I feel like to start with it was bland, but then it started to ramp up because we started seeing Gunther like not seeing he looked weak, but then when he pretty much destroyed Jimmy Uso and then tied Jay to finger, that gave me like the Randy Orton Triple H vibes from '09, with Stephanie.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we know Gunther's a monster, and then that promo that Jay cut on Raw last week, unbelievable. That makes you want it. And then it's like the Punk storyline with the triple threat with Roman and Seth. He owes him a favor. The reasons why he's in this match, do you know what I mean? It's everyone for himself. And then add Paul Heyman into it because he owes him a favor. You're thinking, what is it? And then a video surfaces from like 10 years ago saying that he wants to be in the main event with Punk. Do you know what I mean? When he walks on the WrestleMania. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I did see that clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm enjoying the ride. As a
Yeah.
wrestling fan, I'm not one to complain. I'm not the one booking it. I have no input as to what happens. I just enjoy the ride. Literally what Rock says, enjoy the ride that he's putting you on.
When did you first discover wrestling?
Oh man, I've been has been at least 25 years. It's been at least 25 years. So I've seen the Attitude Era. I grew up, with Eddie Guerrero and
Mm.
Rey Mysterio. I remember his debut coming into WWE. So yeah, probably 2000.
Who's your favorite wrestlers? Like your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I was ready for this question. I had a feeling you were gonna ask me that.
I ask it everyone.
Yeah,
It would have come up at some point.
did a little bit of research at
I
least.
bet you did.
Rey Mysterio, for obvious reasons. San Diego. He was always my favorite growing up. Eddie Guerrero, couldn't beat him. And The Rock, grew up with him. And then with the transition, John Cena
Okay.
into the ruthless aggression.
I
Who's
see
yours?
you kind of got two rivalries there.
I do. Who's yours?
My Mount Rushmore. See, mine change. See, it changes all the time.
Yeah, mine does.
But there's always some people on there who stay the same. Mine is Eddie Guerrero on there. I don't know, man. I felt like his life was cut too short. Obviously, I know he had his demons and everything, but just his character, and I don't think anyone these days lives up to him. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's He's one that will never be replaced. I was a big Jeff Hardy fan as a kid.
Can't beat it, for sure.
Yeah, big Jeff Hardy fan. Uh, Triple H, big Triple H fan as well. Just what he's done for the business, not even just for the business, but what he has done from his career perspective. I mean, just look at before he tore his quad,
Yeah,
he was a heel, came out at Madison Square Garden, every fucker cheered him. Do you know what I mean? So it proves he's loved. Then I'm a big Rock fan.
of
I've got the
course.
Rock quote on my rib.
That's dope.
Yeah. Who's your Mount Rushmore outside of WWE?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I've never thought about that question, so that's a tough one.
Right, I'll do
Um,
it. I'll
Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead. I
Kenny
before you
Kenny
go into it,
Omega. Oh, it's
I think
gone.
you're gonna say Matt Cardona. I'm gonna guess and say Matt Cardona's on that list, but go ahead.
He's not. But
No? Okay, I thought he would.
Kenny Omega.
Okay. That's
It's a
it?
hard one, actually.
It's a hard one.
Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Samoa Joe.
Mojo's good.
Even though he was in WWE. But
It's fine. I'll give you the pass on that one.
and I liked watching because I'm not I won't say he's my Mount Rushmore, but he kind of is. From back in the day, Misawa.
Okay.
I
Wasn't
liked
expecting
watching
that
his
one.
kind of stuff.
Sure. Dude, I have to think hard. I have to think hard about that one because there's a lot of people that
Get back to me on that one.
for sure I'll try and think of something while we're chatting, but there's a lot of people that deserve bigger light than they're currently getting, and I hope that
100%.
they get, in the future, whether that's AEW or WWE.
Oh yeah, it's like Kenny Omega, in my opinion, is the best professional wrestler not to sign with WWE.
Yeah. Will Ospreay's I agree with you on Will Ospreay though.
Yeah, Will Ospreay is still quite young. That's why I
For
said
sure.
like Kenny Omega's still the best unsigned. Well, I think Kenny Omega's like 40, 41 in here or something stupid like that. Where Will Ospreay's like 29,
Yeah, still
something crazy like that.
a lot of time. I saw Will Ospreay at Comic-Con last year. I actually have a
Did
picture
you?
with him. I'll show you later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you do graphic designs and all these. What else do you do?
I don't do graphic designs. That's the
You don't?
thing. I
Oh, I thought you
wish
did.
I did. No, I wish I did do graphic designs. That's something I would love to learn.
Oh wow! So you do video editing?
I do all the video editing on my own.
That's good. That.
I find all the resources that I need to use different apps to try and get it all done. That's
But,
it used to take me like 4 hours to do a recap, less than 2 minutes. Now it's getting down to 2 to 3 hours, which is I'm thankful for. I
oh
kind
yeah,
of have more of a routine, but it's still a lot of work, man. If I sometimes, like I said, I get frustrated and sometimes I'm like, man, I should just pay somebody. And then I'm like, well, these videos aren't paying me anything to, close to what I could pay somebody. You know what I mean?
yeah. So you do the recap stuff, which is awesome from what I've seen. You get a few thousands per video, which is really good. Is there anything else you mentioned? Obviously, you want to start like interview people as well. Is that a thing on your agenda this year?
Yeah, so I just did my first in-person interview with Komander from AEW. Still working on that. That's today's project, so hopefully it comes out this weekend. I'm not sure when this video will be up, but
I'll
um,
let you know after.
okay, cool. But yeah, that you want to look out for that one. It's gonna be on YouTube, the entire video, and then of course I'll splice it up, do clips on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, I want to get into more interviewing. I work with a couple wrestling companies here in San Diego, so I have access to a lot of lucha libre superstars. Um, so do that, and then what else do I want to do? I just want to continue doing more video work.
Yeah. How many podcasts have you been on?
Um, that's a good question. Uh, less than 10. Less than
Okay,
10. Yeah.
awesome. In-person interviews. I mean, I'm doing it virtual with you now, but how different is it compared to speaking to someone on the camera to doing it in real life?
I think the real life aspect, you can kind of build a little bit more rapport. I think you can kind of get a sense, and I think it's a bit easier in person. I found um, it can also be a little bit more nerve wracking because you're in front of the person versus behind the screen. It doesn't feel as nerve wracking, at least to me. Um, but I think you can also build more of the friendship or the more of the bond. I guess more of the bond in person to me.
What equipment did you take with you to command when you interviewed Commander?
Yeah, so since it was my first in-person one, it was very basic. It was very basic, simple mics. I took like 2 tripods. My camera ran out of storage, so we were talking about storage earlier before we hopped on.
Yeah,
Um,
that's funny.
my camera ran out of storage, so I wanted 2 angles. I wanted one angle to pan us both, and then I wanted my camera to pan just Commander. And my camera ran out of storage, so I couldn't just pan to Commander. So I only have just us. And I like to switch in between, angles. So I was kind of bummed for that one. So, that's on me for not coming prepared on extra storage. But, it is what it is. It's just the first one. I can't knock it too bad.
No, I mean it's a good pull. Someone from AEW.
Yeah, that one's not too bad. I mean, I know we'll be having him come back again. He's been there. That's the second time I've met him. It was the first time I've interviewed him, and I know we'll have more chances and more superstars.
Who is someone that you would love to interview in person?
In
Anyone? Who would it
person,
be?
anyone?
Let's go WWE and
Okay,
AEW.
okay. I'm gonna go for the top. I'm gonna go all the way. I think The Rock would be awesome to interview in person.
Okay.
In AEW, man, that one's tough too. I want to say Kenny Omega would be cool.
Okay.
Kenny Omega. If not, no, never. Yeah, he's my top choice. I think Kenny Omega is my top
I like that
choice.
one.
Yeah, or MJF. I think MJF would be funny
Oh.
because MJF can be an interesting person on
Hit,
camera.
hit and miss.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
good.
that would be a strange one. Would you love to do more of these, like your own podcast? Is that
Of
something you
course.
would love to get into?
Yeah. For a while, I thought about doing my own type of podcast. I want to get more into interviewing. I would love to. If I could do this, virtually, then yeah, I'd do it. I want to learn more about the introductions and all that, the graphics and all that. So
Mm.
yeah, I'd love to do it. I want to I've met so many wrestlers, and this was even before doing all of this. Just over the years, I met so many wrestlers. Being in San Diego, there's just so much wrestling around here, and I would go to a lot of meet and greets as a kid. Um, yeah, I have a pretty long story for a Rey Mysterio. My first time I met Rey Mysterio, so
How many times have you met him? Because I've met Rey Mysterio 3 times.
I think 5. I think I'm going to be going on 6 this weekend.
So who are
Yeah.
you meeting this weekend for WrestleMania week?
Ray Phoenix.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
pull.
yeah. Ray Phoenix is on Monday, the Monday after Mania, and then Rey Mysterio is the Friday before WrestleMania, and I'm going to WrestleCon. So honestly, I'm just gonna walk up to people and just talk to them because that's what I love about WrestleCon. This is my third one. Every time I go, you can, pay for the autograph, you can pay for the picture, but if you just want to talk to them and just have a conversation, I got to talk to X-Pac at WrestleMania 39 at WrestleCon, and we were talking about Rey Mysterio because he had just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, so he was showing me pictures of him at the Hall of Fame and just having normal conversations. So I just want to go and have normal conversations with the guys, and yeah, we can talk wrestling, but I want to talk life, and just
Yeah.
see what they're up to now.
It's interesting you said that because obviously it's just nice just to have a conversation with someone. I know they're there to get that autograph and photo, but then just even 2 minutes of just speaking to like someone who you grew up watching on TV, it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's always dope. I saw Carlito at WrestleCon at WrestleMania 31, and he wasn't signed with WWE at that time, but my grandpa was born in Puerto Rico, so I got to have a short conversation saying, "Hey, my grandpa was born in Puerto Rico. I'm part Puerto Rican. Like it's awesome. You've been such an influence. Like my grandpa obviously he loves you because you guys are from the same place." And so, it's just cool to give people their praise and have a little mini conversation about personal stuff.
Yeah. It's I've been to Puerto Rico and it's a beautiful
Beautiful.
place.
Yeah, I've been there once. I would love
Yeah,
to go
two of
back.
us.
Yeah,
I was only there for 2 days, but the 2 days I was there, it's like unbelievable.
I was there for like I think 10 days.
Whereabouts did you go?
I went everywhere, man. We went
I went to San
everywhere.
Juan.
San Juan. I went to Lares. I went to Leonque. Got to go on a hike. Um, be in the water at every possible beach that you can think of. Thankfully I got to go with my grandpa, and other family members. So he got to show me like, oh, this is the family house, and like, this is where I grew up, and the
Crazy,
family
yeah.
house is still there. It's still with other family who live there, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Just seeing where you grew up is just really cool.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
So to wrap this up,
for sure.
obviously I'm not saying upcoming, but you are an upcoming, really good you're a YouTube sensation that you're going to be, and TikTok, great guy. The
Appreciate
content
you.
is good. Like I said before we went on, I'm jealous that you got that many followers. I need them. So any
You'll get
advice,
there.
just give me a shout, mate. Do you know what I mean? Much appreciated. But no,
Yeah.
seriously, keep doing what you're doing because you're killing it. Do
Thank you.
you know what I mean? And I love the little setup. Like I said, it's very different. Obviously,
Thank you.
619 because of San Diego. I love it.
It is. It is because of the San Diego. I actually got this name because of San Diego, and then
Rey
the
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio is the second part of it, but the main reason was because of San Diego,
Yeah.
so it
But
makes it easier.
let's end the message with an inspirational message from Soto619. What's your inspirational message?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot, bro.
Mm,
Um, if there's something that you want to start, just start it because we all have a job, whether that's a 9 to 5, and if you're gonna go in and clock in at 9 o'clock and clock out at 5 o'clock, clock in for yourself at 5:01.
I love that. Thank you very much for coming on, Soto. I really do love having new guests and speaking wrestling. Do you know what I mean? It's just a thing that us wrestling fans do. So thank you for coming on. I do appreciate your time.
Yeah, Jordan, I appreciate you for having me, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep building those contacts. Keep making friendships, and just continue enjoying wrestling, man. You're gonna get there if you just
Hopefully,
keep
man.
keep doing what you're doing and branching out and keep consistent. Whether doesn't matter how bad you might think the content is, somebody's gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna get better for it.
Really true, man. Thank you.